Time check is 7:40 a.m. So within the next 15-20 minutes, David, I'll be making a presentation on the ex-gratia of our country, that scheme, and make the point to the conclusion that there's a drain on our national coffers. It's a threat to our collective democracy, because some of the tenets of democracy is fairness, equity, and ex-gratia makes nonsense of all those things. And I also make the general public and our listeners understand the various nitty-gritties of it. So I will start the presentation by defining what the ex-gratia is. I'll go to the Constitution and do 3 basic things in the Constitution. Identify those who enjoy, or those who are part of Article 71 enjoy that scheme. I'll also tell you about the conditions of service of the president, and also take you to a historical journey through the various the 4 republican constitutions we've had, because Ghana has had four republics. We'll just do a little bit of a constitutional analysis on there with regards to the president and their conditions of serving not being taxed, because it's very important to the conversation. The 4th thing I'll be doing is that I will show people how the ex-gratia is calculated. On the Super Morning Show this morning, Winston did a bit of that. I'll continue from there. And 5, I'll highlight certain pertinent issues that I believe should be of concern to us, rather than paying people ex-gratias that are not justifiable and do not make a single economic sense. So, David, I will start by defining what ex-gratia is. David, when you go through the Black Law Dictionary, and I use Black Law because politicians always go or like to quote the law, it says that it's a payment done out of grace, as a matter of grace, favor, or indulgence, or gratitude, a term applied to anything considered as a favor, as distinguished from that which may be ex facto or as a matter of right. So according to the Black Law Dictionary, ex-gratia it's almost like I'm doing you a favor. Now let's come to the common definition of ex-gratia. This is the Black Law Dictionary, which is more synonymous with law. Now another definition for ex-gratia is that it's a voluntary payment made out of virtue of grace by an organization or an individual for damages or claim. In Latin, and this is for social studies students, in Latin it means favor or by virtue of grace. So David, this is the definition of ex-gratia. Now let's go through the Constitution, Article 68 to be precise. When you go to the Chapter 8 of our Constitution, this Article 68 talks about the conditions of service of the president. So let me read Article 68:1. The president shall not, while he continues in office as president, A, hold any other office of profit or emolument, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly. B, or hold office of chancellor or head of any university in Ghana. 68B. Article 68(2), the clause 2. The president shall not, on leaving office as president, hold any other office of profit or emolument except the permission of Parliament in an establishment, either directly or indirectly, other than that of the state. So, David, Article 68(1)(2) basically saying that the president, whilst in office, cannot work for any other private entity. He must not have stake in any other business. His sole job should be president and serving the interests of the good people of Ghana. The B, or the 2, also talks about the president, whilst he leaves office, should also not hold the office of profits. And I will explain why. That is why they retire on their salaries. That is why we pay them well to retire on their salaries. Now, David, the 68(3), the clause 3 says, the president shall receive such allowances, salaries, facilities as may be prescribed by Parliament on the recommendations of a committee referred to in Article 71 of this Constitution. So the 3 is also saying that the salaries of the president will be recommended by Parliament, but there must be a committee that will be set up, not more than 5 people, and they'll come there, who will determine what the president will be paid. So, David, you see the circles already. The members of Parliament who enjoy this facility has a stake in there. Now, when you go to the 4, on leaving office, the president shall receive a gratuity in addition to pension equivalent to his salary and other allowances and facilities prescribed by Parliament in accordance with clause 3 of this article. 5. The salary, allowances, facilities, pension, and gratuity referred to clause 3 and 4 shall be exempted from tax So David, what that is saying is that the president's salary, the committee recommends Parliament to have to approve and is exempted from tax. Now David, let's go through the tax system. Let's go through the tax system. David, the president of this country do not pay tax. And David, when I say the president, I mean the vice president is also part, because when you read the various provisions of the constitution, the dictates that we give to the president, or the various things that the constitution engenders the president to do, that is the same metric on which the vice president comes. The president of the Fourth Republic do not pay tax, or any other republic do not pay tax. Now David, let's go to the 1960 Republican Constitution and read something. When you go through the various that particular constitution, there's a section that reads, the president shall receive such salaries and allowances on retirement, such as pension, gratuity, and other allowances as may be determined by the National Assembly. And then the National Assembly was basically acting as the parliament we have today. It continues, the salary and allowances of the president shall not be reduced during his period of office. 17. Such salaries and allowances are chargeable to the consolidated fund. So when you go to the 1960 Republican Constitution, it was quite silent when it comes to the exemption of tax. Now let's go to the 1969 Constitution. When you go to Article 36(3), it reads, the president shall receive salary and allowances and on retirement such as pensions, gratuity, and other allowances as may be prescribed by Parliament, in respect of all which he shall exempt from direct taxation. So the 1969 Constitution was explicit that the president do not pay tax. Now let's go to the Third Republican Constitution, the one that brought in Lehman. When you go through the Article 19 of that Constitution, it reads, the president shall receive such salaries and allowances on retirement, such gratuity, or any other allowances as may be determined in accordance with the provision of Article 58 of that Constitution. So when you take through the historical journey of all these constitutions, they say that while the president is in office, he cannot be made to pay tax. He needs to serve the interests of the people. Even the 60 Constitution, the 1960 Constitution, says that his salary should not be reduced. So meaning that whilst you are saying public sector workers must reduce their salary in terms of COVID and not, the president's salary may either remain stagnant or it will be improved. Now, when Prof. Mills came and constituted the Constitutional Review Commission, they made a very interesting point in that report. Let me read something for you. The commission advocated for the keeping of the state of event where the president emoluments are not taxed. According to this view, the job of the president is really taxing and must be motivated with tax reliefs. The president was also likened to a traditional ruler or a king. In ancient times, kings were exempted from paying taxes as their subjects themselves paid. So the Constitution says the president shouldn't pay tax. Ghana is in the Fourth Republic. So I went to the First Republic, the Second Republic, and the Third Republic, and also in 2010 the Constitutional Review Committee, and they all make the point that the president shouldn't pay taxes. And David, I'll come to why this point is important. Now, David, let's go back to the Constitution and understand what is Article 71 that has become like very infamous or an animal that always rises up. Now, Article 71, Clause 1 and 2 of the 1992 Constitution stipulates the determination of the salaries and allowances of the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, paid from the consolidated fund. But then you see, because members of parliament, anytime this discussion can we target them. But there are a lot of people enjoying these facilities, and I'm going to mention all of them here. We have the president, the vice president, the speaker of parliament, the deputy speakers of parliament, members of parliament, the chief justice, and David, and all justices of the Supreme Court. Yesterday, I went to the Judicial Council, their website, and David, I listed 14 justices of the Supreme Court. If someone is listening, I'm wrong, they can correct me. 14 justices of the Supreme Court. I read. We have His Lordship Justice Enim Yabwa, who is the Chief Justice. You have Justice Jones Joche. You have Justice Bafuboni. You have Justice Gabriel Kwamine. And many of them, they are 14. The number 14 per the website of the Judicial Council is the respected Lordship Justice Emmanuel Yoni Kolendi. So 14 of them. Then you come to the Auditor General, the Chairman and Deputy Chairman of Electoral Commission. As we speak, we have the 2 deputies, commissioners, and we have the Electoral Commissioner, so there are 3. Then we have the Commissioner for Shroud and his deputies. Then we have the District Assembly Common Fund Administrator, the man who hasn't paid MMDCs for 7 months. He is part of the ex-gratia. We have the Council for Higher Education. We have the Public Services Commission. We have the National Media Commission. We have the Lands Commission. We have the National Commission for Civic Education. David, all these people. And by a certain convention, there have been people who has also been migrated onto the scheme that are not necessarily captured by the Constitution. So, David, the president do not pay tax.
I don't want to forget this thing, so let me just chip this one in. And some of the people you mentioned in there, they retire on their salary.
I'll come to that.
Go ahead.
David, of all the people who I have mentioned, the president, the justices of the Supreme Court, and the vice president retire on their salaries. MPs do not retire on their salaries. Now, David, Joe, give me the picture one.
And this is where, listeners, you would benefit more and enjoy and appreciate the conversation more when you join us on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM.
Yes.
Join us there now and get to appreciate the slides that we're sharing with you and the things that we have on there. It's LUV 99.5 FM on Facebook. Again, what you can do for us is we want to hear from you. When you listen to ex-gratia, and don't forget that some of these people who benefit from these ex-gratias we're talking about are paid very, very well. Like this Council of State members, we're told that they paid some 26,000 cedis every month.
David, I'm coming there.
Don't worry, I just want to build. I'm building the point.
And we even see the increases.
And so if somebody's paid 26,000 every month, and after a term is giving what? Ex-gratia to the tune of 365,000 Ghana cedis. You ask yourself, how wealthy is this nation for us to be doing these things? Put that aside. There are some people like members of parliament, and I was making a reference of E.T. Mensah. He spent so many years in parliament. At every end of parliament, he took ex-gratia. He was elected a Council of State member to represent the Greater Accra region. Again, he's received another ex-gratia. So question is why? What is wrong with us? So when you hear all this, we want you to share your thoughts with us. So send us voice notes. This is our WhatsApp number: 055-1111-995. What thoughts do you have when we talk about ex-gratia? And please be mindful with the words you choose. We're not asking anybody to insult anybody, no, but just tell us about how you feel when